There is one person in this story who fits every single one of these criteria, I think. And that would be Marcel Monier's wife, Angel. Angel married into this family, of course. She sat across dinner tables from Louise and she watched Marcel do nothing while his sister rotted upstairs. She had access to the house, knowledge of the family history, and a front row seat to Louise's cruelty for years. And she testified at Marcel's trial, if you'll remember from the series, that she was really, it just felt she's so removed from the story. She's quiet. She's like a quiet character. She's careful and quiet and just really just stayed out of it as far as she could. And she never drew attention to herself. And she, it's possible it was just her personality, not a woman to cause scenes, but really there's no real interaction like, oh, I saw Blanche in this state, or I saw Louise treat her this way, or whatever like that. She just really stays out of it. But here's one thing I can't quite get past when I think about her being a possible culprit here. On the exact same day this letter was dated, Angel went to check on Louise, who had fallen ill. It was an unannounced and unscheduled visit. And Louise, who was declining in her health, was cruel and dismissive to Angel. And I don't mean to link those two. She wasn't cruel and dismissive because she was sick. She's always kind of been that way, of course. She was really horrible in the way that Louise was horrible to everyone. Including her own daughter, of course. And on that exact same day that this happened, that she was cruel and cutting to Angel, her daughter-in-law, the letter was dated and written, allegedly. And I can't prove that, of course. Nobody can. We will never know for certain who wrote the letter, but I want you to think about what that day might have looked like. Angel walking into that house, Louise being Louise with her attitude at all, Angel walking out of that house and then sitting down, and finally, after years of silence and witnessing, she picked up a pen. Quote, "So that old criminal can go rot in prison as she should." And let's not forget, Louise didn't treat Marcel well either. We do talk a lot about Marcel in the series, especially towards the latter episodes. Regardless of what you think about Marcel, he has a wife, assuming she loves him. And if he's being treated in a certain way by his mother that she finds horrible, she's going to build that resentment against her, regardless if she thinks, if we think, or if she thinks, he's culpable in the treatment of his sister. I feel like is besides the point. She wants to protect her husband, or at least wants some sort of retaliation. I don't know.